Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about some ordinary-looking nickels that could actually be worth big money. That's right, some US 5-cent coins from 1964, 1996, 2004, and even 2015 are selling for hundreds, and in some cases, thousands of dollars. In this video, I'll show you exactly which ones to look out for, why they're valuable, and how you can tell if you have one of these rare coins hiding in your pocket change. So grab your coins and stay tuned, because you might have a 5-cent piece that's worth a fortune. Let's get started. First up, the Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has been produced continuously ever since. The obverse, or front side, features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, while the reverse showcases Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello. By 1964, the U.S. Mint was under intense pressure due to a nationwide coin shortage, largely caused by silver hoarding and increasing demand for small change. To alleviate this crisis, the Mint ramped up nickel production massively, striking over 1 billion coins dated 1964 across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Interestingly, all Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, which is why the 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is both incredibly common and historically significant. Because of the coin shortage and subsequent minting frenzy, the 1964 nickel is unique in that it was struck in enormous numbers and then continued to be struck even into 1965, but still bearing the 1964 date. This means that while the coin itself isn't rare in circulated condition, finding a 1964 Jefferson nickel in true uncirculated condition, with sharp details and lustrous surfaces, is much harder than it seems. Most of these coins were tossed into circulation, used daily, and quickly picked up wear and tear. However, collectors prize coins that were set aside early, those that have never been handled, never been in change, and retain their original mint luster. These uncirculated examples are what we'll focus on today when talking about value. Now, let's look closer at the coin's design features and how to identify an uncirculated piece. On the obverse, you'll see Jefferson's portrait with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," on the left and "Liberty," with the year 1964, to the right. The absence of a mint mark below the date indicates that it was struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse, Monticello appears centered, with "E pluribus unum" above and "United States of America" and 5 cents below. When examining your coin, look for sharp steps on Monticello. Collectors refer to this as the full steps designation, or FS. Coins that show complete, well-defined steps on Monticello's staircase are much scarcer and can command much higher prices at auction, especially when graded MS 65 or higher. Speaking of grades, condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. For a 1964 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, values can vary widely based on its preservation. A standard circulated example, the kind you might pull from pocket change, is worth only 5 to 10 cents, basically face value. But once you step into the uncirculated territory, things change dramatically. Coins graded MS 60 to MS 63 typically sell for $1 to $3, while MS 64 and MS 65 examples can reach $5 to $15. If you're lucky enough to have a coin graded MS 66 or higher with full steps, values can jump exponentially, with certain MS 67 full steps examples fetching over $200 or even $500 at auction, depending on eye appeal, toning, and strike quality. Another key point collectors should understand is that not all uncirculated coins are equal. Two coins can both technically be uncirculated, yet have vastly different visual appeal. Luster, strike sharpness, and the presence or absence of contact marks all influence a coin's grade. The 1964 nickel, being mass-produced during a period of intense demand, often exhibits weak strikes, planchet flaws, or bag marks from the high-speed minting process. That means finding one with brilliant surfaces, strong details, and no scratches is relatively uncommon, and that's exactly why pristine uncirculated pieces are so desirable to advanced collectors. Let's also touch briefly on the metal composition and the confusion many new collectors have about silver content. Unlike dimes, quarters, and half dollars of the era, the 1964 Jefferson nickel contains no silver. It's made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same alloy used since 1946. However, its silvery color often leads people to believe it might contain precious metal. Despite the lack of silver, some uncirculated examples exhibit beautiful natural toning, with golden, blue, or violet hues developing over time. Coins with attractive toning can sometimes sell for premiums simply because they stand out visually among otherwise dull gray examples. When we talk about 30 mint or mint state 30 coins, what we really mean is that the coin grades MS 60 and above, according to the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70. Coins below MS 60 show signs of wear, while anything above MS 60 is considered mint state. So, if you have around 30 coins from the same batch or roll that appear uncirculated, you may have a small treasure on your hands, not necessarily worth thousands, but collectively valuable, especially if some show full steps detail. Submitting a few to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can help confirm their grade and unlock higher resale potential. In today's collector market, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel serves as a great entry point for beginners. It's affordable, historically meaningful, and still widely available in rolls, bags, and estate collections. Because the design remained consistent for decades, studying these coins helps you train your eye to spot strike quality, luster, and subtle design changes over time. If you ever come across a bankroll of older nickels or an untouched coin jar from the 1960s, take the time to look carefully. An uncirculated 1964 with brilliant luster and full steps could easily be worth far more than you expect. To wrap things up, the 1964 Jefferson nickel without mint mark is a coin that perfectly represents a pivotal era in American coinage, one of economic transition, minting innovation, and sheer production scale. Even though billions were made, truly pristine examples remain desirable and collectible today. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your journey into coin collecting, these nickels offer a fascinating glimpse into mid-20th century America, when a simple 5-cent coin could carry both everyday utility and a touch of historical significance. So, next time you check your change, remember, that dull nickel might just shine with a story, a bit of hidden value, and a piece of American history waiting to be rediscovered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin facts, values, and hidden treasures from your pocket change next up. The Jefferson nickel design by sculptor Felix Schlag was introduced in 1938 and became one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. The obverse features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, while the reverse shows his famous home, Monticello, located in Virginia. This design remained virtually unchanged for over 6 decades, and the 1996 D nickel represents one of the last few years of this original Schlag design before the mint began making artistic updates in 2004. So, even though the 1996 D might look modern, it actually stands as one of the final chapters in a long-running design era, and that makes it historically significant for collectors who appreciate transitional periods in American coinage. Now, when it comes to mintage and production, the 1996 D Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the bold D mint mark located just to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. That year, the Denver facility produced an impressive 1,113,920,000 nickels, over 1 billion pieces, an enormous number that demonstrates the U.S. mint's efficiency in the late 20th century. While that may sound like it makes the coin extremely common, and in circulation, it certainly is, collectors are still drawn to certain qualities within that massive production run, such as strong strikes, clean surfaces, and examples preserved in uncirculated rolls or mint sets. In other words, while the mintage is high, condition and quality remain the ultimate deciders of value. Let's talk about condition grading, especially since today's topic focuses on coins in fine condition. According to the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, a coin graded as fine, or F12 to F15, shows moderate to considerable wear across the high points of the design, yet retains most major details. On a 1996 D Jefferson nickel, that means Jefferson's face and hair will show visible flattening, and some of the finer details of Monticello on the reverse will appear worn or faded. However, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," "E Pluribus Unum," and "United States of America" should still be readable and clear. A coin in fine condition reflects a history of circulation but still keeps enough detail to be identified and appreciated as a collectible example. So, how much is a 1996 D. Jefferson nickel in fine condition actually worth? Here's the honest answer. In most cases, it's worth about 5 cents, or face value, if it's been circulated. Because so many were produced and because the coin is relatively modern, most 1996 D nickels don't have significant numismatic premiums unless they're in exceptional uncirculated or proof-like condition. However, that doesn't mean your coin is worthless. If you have around 30 coins from the same date and mint, as many collectors do when sorting through bankrolls, you may want to keep the best few, the ones with clean fields, sharper details, or perhaps interesting toning. Those could be worth holding on to for future appreciation or just as attractive examples for a Jefferson series album. But here's where things get more interesting. Even among billions of coins, errors and varieties can make a 1996 D. Jefferson nickel valuable. Some coins were struck slightly off-center, had die cracks, or showed doubling on the inscriptions, what collectors call double die errors. While such errors are rare for this year, when they occur, they can transform an ordinary nickel into a small treasure. An error nickel in uncirculated condition might fetch $10 to $50, and certain dramatic examples have sold for even more in online auctions. So, whenever you check your nickels, it pays to look closely under magnification. Sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. Now, let's discuss the metal composition and design significance of this coin. Like other nickels minted since 1946, the 1996 D contains 75% copper and 25% nickel, with no silver content. It weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter. The nickel's metallic durability has helped it survive years of circulation, which explains why you can still find 1996 D nickels in everyday change almost 30 years later. The Denver Mint was known for producing coins with a slightly stronger strike quality in the 1990s, meaning the details on Jefferson's face and Monticello were often sharper compared to the Philadelphia issues. For that reason, collectors who build complete Jefferson nickel sets often favor the Denver examples when searching for well-struck pieces. If you happen to have multiple 1996 D nickels, let's say around 30 of them, as some collectors might, here's a tip. Line them up side by side under good lighting and compare their color, luster, and detail. You might be surprised how different they look. Some will be dull and worn, others will shine slightly more or have a hint of original mint brightness. You can create your own mini grading exercise this way. Even if none are worth more than face value, you're developing your eye for detail, one of the most valuable skills in coin collecting. That's exactly how experienced collectors identify potential high-grade coins worth submitting for professional grading later on. From a historical perspective, the 1990s Jefferson nickels tell a story of stability in U.S. coin design and production. By this time, the mint had perfected its methods, producing billions of coins each year with remarkable consistency. Inflation was relatively low, the U.S. economy was strong, and digital banking had not yet reduced demand for physical coins. The 1996 D nickel reflects that moment in time, a period when cash was still king, vending machines still took coins, and pocket change was an everyday part of life. Owning one of these nickels, especially in higher condition, is like holding a small, metallic piece of 1990s American history in your hand. So, to sum it all up, the 1996 D. Jefferson nickel might not make you rich overnight, but it's far from meaningless. In fine condition, it's worth its face value, but in higher grades, or if you find a rare error, it can be worth several dollars or more. Collecting a handful, or even 30 coins, allows you to study variations in strike, luster, and wear, key lessons for any numismatist. And remember, every collection starts somewhere, even with the coins that seem the most ordinary. So keep an eye on your change, preserve the nicest examples, and enjoy the journey. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next episode, where we uncover more hidden stories and surprising values in everyday American coins. Next up, the keelboat nickel. We need to go back to 2004, when the U.S. Mint launched the Westward Journey nickel series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition and the Louisiana Purchase. For more than 60 years, the Jefferson nickel design had remained virtually unchanged, until this special series brought history back to life on America's 5-cent piece. The first design of 2004 featured the piece metal reverse, symbolizing friendly exchange with Native American tribes, followed later that same year by the keelboat design, which honored the explorer's historic voyage up the Missouri River. It marked one of the few times in modern history that the U.S. Mint issued two different nickel designs in a single year. The keelboat reverse was designed by U.S. Mint sculptor-engraver Al Maletsky, based on historic drawings of the boat used by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. The design shows a side view of the keelboat, complete with a sail and crew members, pushing forward on their expedition. The words, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 5 cents encircle the image, while the obverse continued to feature Felix Schlag's long-standing portrait of Jefferson. The combination of old and new design elements gave the 2004 nickel an instant appeal among both historians and modern collectors. And if you look closely on your coin's reverse, you'll see the D mint mark, identifying it as being struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado. When it comes to production, the Denver Mint struck a massive number of these coins, approximately 372 million keelboat nickels in 2004. That high mintage means they're not rare in general circulation, but as always, condition makes all the difference. The vast majority of these coins entered circulation and quickly picked up wear and scratches. However, coins preserved straight from U.S. Mint rolls or U.S. Mint sets in uncirculated condition, with full luster and sharp details, have become favorites among collectors seeking pristine modern nickels. The Denver Mint is also known for striking coins with slightly stronger details compared to Philadelphia issues that same year, giving 2004 D examples a visual advantage when found in mint state. Now, let's discuss grading and condition, because the value of a 2004 D keelboat nickel depends entirely on its mint state grade. On the Sheldon scale of 1 to 70, anything above MS 60 qualifies as uncirculated. Coins in MS 60 to MS 63 condition generally show some minor bag marks from mint handling but still retain full luster. At MS 64 to MS 65, the coin begins to exhibit crisp details and a strong strike, while MS 66 and higher grades show nearly perfect surfaces with outstanding brilliance. The most desirable keelboat nickels have not only strong strikes but also beautiful satiny or brilliant finishes, traits that can push them toward premium value territory. So, what is the actual dollar value of a 2004 D keelboat nickel in uncirculated condition? 4 common mint state examples, say MS 60 to MS 63. The typical value ranges between 25 cents and $1 each. Higher grade pieces, especially those certified by professional grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, can reach $5 to $10 in MS 65 or MS 66, and rare top-grade examples with exceptional eye appeal can bring $15 to $25. In rare cases, perfectly struck MS 67 coins with deep luster have sold for $40 or more at auction. While that might not sound huge individually, owning 30 bright, uncirculated 2004 D keelboat nickels gives you a small treasure chest of collectible material and potentially a few top-grade coins hidden among them. But as collectors know, it's not just about face value, it's about the story. Each 2004 D keelboat nickel represents a small metallic tribute to one of the most significant journeys in American history, the Lewis and Clark expedition, which charted a path across the continent from 1804 to 1806. The keelboat was the heart of their voyage, carrying supplies, crew, and hope into the unknown. Owning one of these coins connects you directly to that story, a reminder of exploration, discovery, and resilience. For many collectors, that historical connection is every bit as valuable as the dollar amount the coin might bring on the open market. If you happen to have a roll or small group of around 30 uncirculated 2004 D keelboat nickels, take the time to examine each one carefully. Under bright light or magnification, look for the sharpness of the boat's details, the mast, the crew figures, and the edges of the sail. Also note the clarity of the inscriptions and whether the fields, the flat areas of the coin, remain free of scratches or contact marks. Those details make the difference between a common uncirculated coin and a gem-quality piece worth grading. A few coins with strong strikes and beautiful luster might stand out from the rest, and those could be the ones worth sending in for professional certification. Another thing collectors love about the 2004 keelboat nickel is its role as a transitional piece in U.S. coinage. It represents a bridge between the classic Jefferson design and the modern return to Monticello reverse introduced in 2006. Because it was only minted for a limited time, less than a single year, the keelboat design remains a one-year-only type. That makes it a must-have for anyone assembling a typeset or a complete Jefferson nickel collection. Even though billions exist, pristine uncirculated examples will always have collector demand thanks to their historical context and short production window. In conclusion, the 2004 D keelboat Jefferson nickel is far more than a simple 5-cent coin. It's a piece of modern American heritage struck in durable copper-nickel alloy, designed to commemorate one of our nation's greatest journeys. While most examples in circulation remain worth face value, those in uncirculated condition can bring modest premiums, especially in higher mint states. If you've got around 30 of them tucked away, you're already building a small but meaningful slice of early 21st century numismatic history. Keep them protected, maybe grade the best few, and most of all, enjoy the process of collecting. Because behind every coin, from the oldest silver dollar to the newest nickel, there's a story waiting to be told. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the hidden value of America's everyday coins. Next up. The Jefferson nickel first appeared in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it's been a mainstay of U.S. coinage ever since. The obverse originally featured Felix Schlagg's famous portrait of Thomas Jefferson, and the reverse showed his Monticello home in Virginia. However, in 2006, the design was updated with a more realistic and forward-facing Jefferson, created by sculptor Jamie Franke, while retaining Monticello on the back. By 2015, this modern version had been circulating for nearly a decade, making it one of the most refined and well-struck modern nickels ever produced by the U.S. Mint. It combines tradition and innovation, a continuation of Jefferson's legacy through modern engraving techniques and updated design elements. Now, let's talk about the Denver Mint, represented by the bold D mint mark found on the right side of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. The 2015 D Jefferson nickel was struck in massive numbers, more than 710 million pieces that year, making it one of the most plentiful nickels of the decade. The Denver Mint is known for its high-quality strikes, sharp design details, and slightly more lustrous finish compared to coins from the Philadelphia Mint. Each 2015 D coin is made from the standard modern nickel composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a total weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.21 millimeters. It's a workhorse coin, durable, consistent, and reflective of the U.S. Mint's technological excellence in the 21st century. So, what does it mean if your 2015 D nickel is in good condition? On the Sheldon coin grading scale, good generally refers to coins that show heavy wear but remain readable and identifiable. Jefferson's portrait will appear flat across the cheek and hair, and many fine details will be lost, though the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2015 will still be clear. The reverse will show Monticello with smooth, worn surfaces and faded steps. In essence, a coin in good condition has been through circulation for years, exchanged countless times, and tells the story of modern commerce, but it's no longer pristine or collectible in high-grade markets. Still, even these coins carry historical and educational value for beginners learning about grading and coin identification. When it comes to value, a 2015 D Jefferson nickel in good circulated condition is worth 5 cents, its face value. Because of its recent date and high mintage, circulated examples are extremely common. However, uncirculated or high-grade mint state coins can have small premiums. In MS-60 to MS-64, they usually sell for 25 cents to $1, and coins graded MS-65 or higher may reach $3 to $10, especially if they display strong luster, minimal contact marks, and full-step detail on Monticello. In the absolute best certified condition, such as MS-67 or MS-68 full steps, certain examples have sold for $50 to over $100 at auction. So while a circulated 2015 D nickel isn't valuable yet, perfect uncirculated pieces definitely hold collector interest for the future. If you happen to have around 30 mint-fresh 2015 D nickels, say from a bankroll or original U.S. mint bag, you're sitting on a small field of opportunity. Even though individually they're not rare, Having multiple uncirculated coins allows you to compare and hand-select the very best examples. Look for coins with brilliant surfaces, strong strikes, and especially full steps on Monticello. That's a sign of superior die pressure and quality control. These tiny details can dramatically impact a coin's grade and potential value. Consider preserving them in protective coin flips or tubes to prevent scratches, as future collectors often pay small premiums for well-kept, untouched modern rolls. What makes the 2015 D. Jefferson nickel interesting isn't just its potential value but what it represents in U.S. coinage history. This design embodies the post-Westward Journey era, when the mint sought to blend Jefferson's enduring image with a modern, lifelike style. Unlike earlier nickels with side portraits, Jefferson now faces forward, creating a more human connection with the viewer, a symbol of looking ahead while honoring the past. The reverse's Monticello remains a timeless anchor, tying every Jefferson nickel, from 1938 to today, to America's architectural and cultural heritage. It's a blend of past and present that makes the series uniquely American. From a collector's perspective, the 2015 D nickel offers a great entry point for beginners and a fun exercise for advanced collectors. Beginners can use circulated coins to practice grading and spotting mint marks, while experienced collectors can seek out exceptional examples with full steps or unique toning. Modern nickels can also develop colorful natural tones, subtle blues, golds, and purples, especially when stored in older rolls or paper wrappers. These tones don't add much face value, but they can make coins visually striking and collectible for their beauty alone. And since the Denver Mint strikes tend to be crisp, toned examples from this issue can really stand out in a collection. Another layer to consider is how the 2015 D fits into the long Jefferson nickel timeline. It represents over 75 years of continuous production, a testament to the coin's enduring design and usefulness. In 2015, the U.S. Mint was already using advanced die-making technologies that improved consistency and strike sharpness, meaning the 2015 D is one of the most technically perfect Jefferson nickels ever made. For historians and numismatists, it marks the modern peak of traditional nickel production before digital minting and laser engraving would define the next generation of U.S. coins. So, in summary, the 2015 D Jefferson nickel may not be rare or expensive, especially in good condition, but it's still an important part of the story of American coinage. In circulated grades, it's worth face value. In uncirculated or top-graded form, it may be worth a few dollars or more. If you have 30 of them, preserve them carefully. You're holding a tiny snapshot of 21st century minting history. And for collectors of all levels, coins like this remind us that value isn't always about money. It's about connection, craftsmanship, and legacy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the hidden stories and values behind America's everyday coins. Thanks for watching.